Okay, so now if we jump back to our anonymous browser where we have a comment form and we refresh and we scroll down, we now see that we have a CAPTCHA. We can adjust some of this. We can set the font type, so we can actually choose a kind of a pretty or funky font for this. We can also choose some background noise because this would be pretty easy for an OCR program to decrypt. So let's take a quick look at the options for our image CAPTCHA. I'm going to jump back to the browser where we're logged in, and I'm going to use Coffee in order to search for CAPTCHA, and we're going to go to image CAPTCHA. So here's the example. We can set what characters we want to display. So sometimes, depending on the font that you're using, J and I can look an awful lot alike, at least the lowercase versions. Lowercase l and capital I can look identical. 1 and L can look identical too. So you see that 1 isn't in here at all. Neither is a lowercase l, and neither is an uppercase I. So if there are other letters that you find ambiguous on whatever font that you choose, you might want to remove them here. You can set the code length. Right now it's set to 5, but we could set it all the way up to 10. Here it tells us that at least for our PHP installation, we can't use a true type font for the CAPTCHA, but if we really wanted a different font, we can modify this. We can set the spacing between the characters. If we do tight, it will be a little closer together. I'm going to scroll down. We can set the background color. Right now it's set to white. We can set the text color, and we can allow variation of text color. And again, the idea here is that it will hopefully throw off certain bots, at least less sophisticated bots, from being able to decode the text from the image. We can select the file format, so we can use JPEG or PNG. We'll go ahead and leave it at PNG. Down here under distortion and noise, we can allow a certain distortion of the text. Let's select medium. We can allow smooth distortion. We'll check that. We can add salt and pepper noise to the background to further increase the difficulty of OCRing the content. Let's click add line noise in order to see what that looks like. And we'll leave the noise level at high and click save configuration. So now here's the result of our CAPTCHA. This I would say would be impossible for a bot to decrypt, but unfortunately, it's also going to be impossible for a human. So we need to drop this down a little bit. Let's go down to the bottom and adjust the settings. We'll remove the line noise. Let's remove the salt and pepper noise too. Let's move the distortion level down to 2 to make it a little bit lower and see what happens here. I'll click save configuration. Okay, so you see how we get a little twisting on the letters, nothing big. There's some artifacts going on the side, but you can see based on the code that's here that that artifact doesn't matter. But this gives us a sense of the options available to us.